Hey there, Cowboys Nation! Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. We're going to dive deep into some major NFL news that has been making waves across the league. The Dallas Cowboys just suffered a heartbreaking loss against the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL playoffs, and the fallout from that game has been the talk of the town. In particular, a lot of attention has been focused on the performance of Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott and the comments made by head coach Mike McCarthy in the aftermath. Now, if you've been following the Cowboys at all this season, you know that Dak has had an up-and-down year. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but has also made some head-scratching plays that have left fans and pundits wondering what's going on. And in that playoff loss to the 49ers, Dak's play was once again a major point of discussion. So, in this video, we're going to break down exactly what happened in that game, what Mike McCarthy had to say of Dak's performance, and what it all means for the Cowboys going forward. This is sure to be a juicy one, so let's jump right in. Recap of Cowboys vs. 49ers playoff game. Let's start by recapping the Cowboys' divisional round playoff matchup against the San Francisco 49ers. This was a highly anticipated game, with two of the NFC's top teams going head-to-head for a spot in the conference championship. The Cowboys came into this game as the 5 seed, having won the NFC East with a 12-5 record. They were riding high after a dominant wildcard round victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, the 49ers were the 2 seed, having won the NFC West with a 13-4 record. They were also coming off an impressive wildcard round win over the Seattle Seahawks. Early on, it looked like the Cowboys were going to take care of business. They jumped out to a 12-0 lead in the first half, with Dak Prescott connecting on some nice passes and the defense keeping the 49ers offense in check. But then things started to unravel. Late in the second quarter, the 49ers finally got on the board with a field goal to make it 12-3. And then just before halftime, disaster struck for the Cowboys. Dak threw an ill-advised pass that was intercepted, and the 49ers capitalized by scoring a touchdown to make it a 12-10 game at the break. The second half was all 49ers. They took the opening drive and marched down the field for a touchdown to take the lead. And from there, it was a constant uphill battle for the Cowboys. Dak and the offense just couldn't get anything going consistently, while the 49ers offense continued to move the ball and their defense kept forcing stops. By the time the final whistle blew, the 49ers had come away with a 19-12 victory, ending the Cowboys' season and sending them home earlier than they had hoped. And of course, the main focus in the aftermath was on Dak Prescott's performance. Now, as I mentioned, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy was asked about Dak's play in the aftermath of this tough playoff loss. And let's just say, his comments were quite revealing. McCarthy didn't hold back in his assessment of Dak's performance. He flat out said that Dak has to play better and that his turnovers were the biggest factor in the Cowboys' defeat. Ouch. That's some pretty harsh criticism from the head coach. Now, to be fair, McCarthy did acknowledge that the entire team needed to play better in order to win that game. He said the defense had their struggles, the special teams made some mistakes, and the coaching staff could have done a better job. But at the end of the day, he made it clear that Dak was the one who needed to step up the most. Specifically, McCarthy pointed to Dak's 2 interceptions as being the real backbreakers. He said that when you turn the ball over in the playoffs, it's very difficult to overcome. And he's absolutely right about that. You just can't give the other team free possessions in a big playoff game and expect to come out on top. The coach also lamented Dak's inability to get the offense going consistently. He said that Dak needed to do a better job of taking what the defense was giving him rather than trying to force the big play. And that's a fair criticism. Sometimes Dak can get a little too aggressive, and it ends up hurting the team. So in summary, Mike McCarthy did not hold back in his assessment of Dak Prescott's performance. He made it crystal clear that the Cowboys quarterback needs to play better if they want to take that next step and make a deep playoff run. And you can bet that Dak heard those comments loud and clear. Now, the big question is, what does all of this mean for Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys going forward? Well, there are a few key implications that I think we need to discuss. First and foremost, this is a clear wake-up call for Dak. He's seen as one of the top quarterbacks in the league, but his play this season, and especially in that playoff loss, has left a lot to be desired. And now, his own head coach has publicly called him out, saying he needs to be better. This is a crucial offseason for Dak. He's got to really take a long, hard look at his game and figure out what he needs to improve on. Whether it's decision-making, ball security, or just being more consistent, he's got to make some serious strides if he wants to silence the critics and prove he can be a true franchise QB. And the pressure is only going to mount from here. The Cowboys are still a talented team with a ton of offensive firepower. But they're not going to go anywhere if Dak can't raise his level of play. He's the key to this entire operation, and he's got to step up. Another big implication is the potential impact on Dak's long-term future with the Cowboys. Now, I don't think there's any chance the team moves on from him anytime soon. He's still their guy, and they're invested in him. But if the struggles continue, you have to wonder if the Cowboys might start looking at other long-term options at the position. After all, the NFL is a what-have-you-done-for-me-lately league. And if Dak can't start delivering more consistent, high-level play, the Cowboys might have to start considering whether he's truly the answer at QB. That's not an easy decision, but it's one they may have to make if he can't get things turned around. Finally, this whole situation is going to have a major impact on the Cowboys' off-season plans. With Dak's performance being such a hot-button issue, you can bet that addressing the QB position is going to be a top priority. It's going to be fascinating to see how he and the Cowboys respond in the off-season. Well, there you have it, folks. That's the latest on the Cowboys' Dak Prescott situation following their tough playoff loss to the 49ers. It's clear that the team and the coaching staff are not happy with Dak's performance, and they're challenging him to take his game to the next level. Now, I know a lot of you Cowboys fans out there are probably feeling pretty frustrated right now. It's always tough to see your team come up short in the playoffs, especially when you had such high hopes. But try to keep your heads up. This is still a talented squad, and they've got the pieces to make a deep run next season. The key is going to be Dak Prescott. He's the one who has to step up and prove that he can be a true elite quarterback in this league. And if he can do that, well, the sky's the limit for this Cowboys team.